Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career or money reading for the end of October, right through to the end of November 2023. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is your career or money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome, but I have to make you aware that there is a major event that will affect us all collectively occurring in the month of November. Now, we have the Sun-Mars conjunction, and it's in your sign, my beautiful Scorpio, so it will affect you highly. It's a really big deal in many reasons, but I will focus on the career and money for now and address the rest in a monthly, but it will remain with us for 2.5 years. Okay, now what a Sun-Mars conjunction does is it actually highlights where we collectively face our highest battles. Okay, so for example, when the last Sun-Mars conjunction occurred in the sign of Virgo a couple of years ago, we faced health issues in the form of a pandemic. Virgo rules health, and then it moved into Libra, which is all about problem solving, finding a solution. We were forced to choose sides, create balance, and entered into a battle to fight for justice so that we could solve those collective issues. We also saw restructures of alliances and power. So why is it relevant for a career or money reading? Well, Scorpio rules money, pressure, and power struggles. So it's an energy of extremes, as you probably already know. Being a wonderful Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio myself, it's all or nothing kind of energy sometimes, and only sometimes, unless we create balance. But ultimately, it's about transforming your money, okay? So becoming focused and unstoppable in your endeavors, no matter the pressures around you that are affecting you, okay? It also rules the banking industries, asset management, private equities, things like that. So we will see major transformation coming in. Look at that. Scorpio energy there. The Tower. We will see major transformations in these areas, especially since we have an opposite to Uranus, which is a very destructive energy. Okay, now this may mean that we'll see more well-known institutions or establishments being exposed for having major financial problems that have been hidden for years, for a long time. Scorpio, of course, reveals, exposes, and Uranus is a shocking, destructive energy. So I definitely see, look at that. Look at this energy right here. We've got the Tower, restructure, we've got the Star, and we've got the Hermit. So it's exposing so that you can find out extra knowledge. Now, how is it working for you? Well, actually, it's about reestablishing your power. I definitely see that intuitively you're aware of fluctuations that are going on around the world at large, and I feel that you are paying attention. That's the energy that I'm getting. But on a more private scale, when it comes to your actual career, I feel like you are making some adjustments. You're restructuring the way that you work. Okay, and I feel it puts you in a really powerful position. You're connecting to your true life's mission, your true life's purpose. You're following your heart, but you've also got a plan. So it's not that you are, dreaming of stuff that you want to occur, manifesting, visualizing. You're actually taking action on something, but I feel right now you're formulating the plan. Okay, as you can see that we got the High Priestess there, we got the Hanged Man there as well. So this is like to withdraw, to think about the next steps. And some of you may be in planning stages regarding either a new opportunity that's coming in for you, or you're planning to make some changes to go after something new, or even to expand what you've got already. We've got the Nine of Cups there, so making some wishes, that perhaps have been delayed. You've been working hard towards these experiences or these opportunities. Now, I do have a Five of Swords here, so there's a bit of creative brainstorming going on. We got the Death card, of course, which is all about restructuring, but also reestablishing your power. You're in a go-getting spirit, and I feel that your passion will lead the way. We got the Lover's card. Okay, so what you're actually manifesting, you're attracting at this time. I do want to go one more just to see on the other side of that for you. We got the Ace of Swords, putting new ideas into practice, planning something that's going to take off and be very, very successful. Now, your first card is the Justice card. So this is about cause and effect. All the effort that you've been putting into something that you love, it may have felt very hard won. I feel like you've been going through a lot of challenge. Some of you may have even felt really unmotivated, or you felt a little bit lost recently, or you've had some plans that you haven't really put into motion just yet, but you're formulating things that you're keeping to yourself at this time. You're not really letting anybody know about it. You may be working hard towards something in secret at this time. And I feel that some of you, I feel there's this energy of it wasn't ready when you started having those ideas, but now some of you may have taken some training, either taken some classes, or you feel compelled to do that in order to upskill, and you're putting your plans in motion. So I definitely see that big changes are happening, especially at the end of November. So some of you could be creating something right now in October that you're really like not telling anybody about, but you're just researching it, or you're actually, have it in motion. And then suddenly it comes to a climax at the end of November. But the Justice card is really about being honest with yourself. Can you create more balance and harmony in your working environment? And some of you may feel that there is someone who always tries to put the fly in the ointment. Now, this could be someone who is abusing their power in a situation. It could be a boss, or it could be someone who has some form of authority. The fact that the Emperor energy is in the resistance position, I feel everybody knows that this person perhaps should not be in that position because they just don't have the skill set to be in that position. But I feel they got there through either nepotism, or they got through by not dirty tactics. I feel they fast-tracked in some way, and not in a good way. Okay, and this person, they either abuse their power, or they have seen what you have to offer, the working environment, and it's like they feel intimidated. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a boss. It could be someone that you work with. The Five of Swords can indicate someone tries to win at all costs. So if you do have a plan that you're formulating, or you've got some ideas, I would say keep them to yourself. Don't share them with anyone you don't trust. But also I would say that maybe either copyright your ideas, or in some way like prove that these are your ideas before you have to share them with the people around you. So I definitely see that your work will speak for itself. However, I feel there is someone here who may try to take credit for your ideas. So it could be a work colleague, it could be someone that is in a position of power, but also it could be like a frenemy. It could be someone who's been watching you really thrive and sees that you have the capability to be very successful, and they want some of that, but they're not willing to do the work. You do the work. You're a very hard worker, my beautiful Scorpio, and I feel there is a potential here that someone just wants to fast track and snatch up an idea. Now, for example, if you're someone who is a social media entrepreneur, or you work online, then there is the potential that someone's going to look at your ideas and think, that was a pretty good idea. Maybe I'm going to take it for myself. So it could also, I feel like they will try to copy. Okay, I just get this copy energy. So just watch out for that. I mean, we can all be influenced by lots of people's work and think, wow, that was great. Maybe I should do something like that, but put my own unique spin on it. I mean, that's okay. Sometimes it's very hard to come up with new ideas. And I feel that, there is that, but then there is flat out taking your idea, not changing it, and it's really obvious that it's your idea. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of that. Safeguard anything, copyright anything that establishes that it was yours. Also, I'm being given an energy here of be a little bit mindful of electronic equipment during the next 6 weeks. Save down your work, because there is a real high potential that either there will be your laptop crashes, or your folder crashes, or you delete something in error. Okay, I definitely get this sense of like something happening that's like kind of out of your control, and you may want to save it down. So just watch out for that. So if you're working on something really important, whether it's an important idea, document, presentation, or even your taxes, if you're doing your taxes, it's really important to make sure you save everything down, because there is a glitch energy that I'm feeling here that may try to derail you or delay you, but I feel like you've got this, okay? I feel, you just pick yourself back up and move forward. It may be frustrating, however, so just watch out for that. Now, the Justice card also tells me that you're going to be dealing with a lot of paperwork this month. I feel like you're going to be very goal-oriented. You may be making some adjustments to do something that you love. Now, I always say this. If you've got placements in Leo, I mean, they started with a Two of Cups as well in their protagonist energy. So this is really about loving what you do and then also checking the exchange, making sure that you're getting a fair deal for all the hard work, emotion, care, devotion, and tenacity and focus that you put into your work. So the Justice card indicates that you're checking in with yourself and wondering, are you getting a fair deal? And if the answer is no, then I feel like you're restructuring your career environment in some way in order to get that better deal. And for some of you, it could be that you're staying where you're at, but you're actually elevating into a leadership position, or you may move into a new team or sector and work with people who actually get you, who support you, or some of you are actually going to set up an entrepreneurship and be your own boss. So there is that similar energy that's coming out that did come up briefly in the Leo reading as well. Also, the Justice card is about the truth. So if you feel like someone is not telling you something in the working environment, November is the month where it will be exposed. But intuitively, you knew this, okay? I feel like it will annoy you a little bit, make you feel frustrated, but I feel like you were prepared for this, especially since we have the High Priestess and the Emperor energy in the resistance position. So this can indicate a couple of things. It can indicate someone in a position of power at your working environment is keeping knowledge hidden from the collective. So it could be that it's something that people are not going to really enjoy, because the Nine of Cups is in the resistance position. The Five of Swords can indicate that to some degree it will cause some sort of anxiety, or it may feel like, for example, they may turn around and say, you know what, the company hasn't been doing very well this year, so no one's getting a bonus. Okay, and then you find out that actually all the people in positions of power got a bonus. However, everybody who does the work did not get a bonus. Now, of course, we're in a very difficult economic climate right now, so not every company is ever going to offer a bonus. That's only if you're lucky. But I definitely get a sense here that something is exposed within the career environment that kind of changes your mindset or your outlook on something, okay? I definitely see a major restructure going on in your career that you are in charge of, okay? So I don't want anyone worrying that perhaps, there's a big like shock there. We've got the Tower energy, which means something is exposed, or it can even indicate that something that was not like on solid ground is suddenly like restructured in some way. So if your boss promised you an opportunity, a promotion or a raise, and it's not available suddenly, then I feel deep down you knew that perhaps this person was like blowing smoke up your you-know-what, or maybe even tried to get that opportunity for you, but they could not. They did not have the power, because I'm looking at someone who is around you, who has in some way in your industry, they don't have the power that they present that they do. Okay, I feel like you are reestablishing your power and your sense of moving forward and having a major breakthrough in your career, because there's a lot of success here. You're actually going to shine. You're actually going to step into a spotlight in some way for your career. I definitely see something that will come together that you've been manifesting, and I feel fate and destiny puts you in a position to work on something big that's going to transform your career, but also your finances, okay? Because I definitely see that something big is ending for you in your career, and I feel it's like being taken advantage of or working really hard for next to nothing. I definitely see a readdress of the balance for you there as well. Now, as I said, a lot of you are going to be dealing with a lot of paperwork. You're going to be very busy, very goal-oriented this month, and you may feel a little bit pushed and pulled in many different directions. I see you multitasking, but that's when you come to the fore. That's when I feel like you really thrive under pressure. You don't like pressure, but I feel like it gives you a little bit of a fire in your belly where you rise to the challenge, you meet it head on, and you shine because of it. I definitely see that you are someone who is destined for success, and I feel there's something that you're working on, though, that is in silence. It could be an idea, it could be something that you're thinking about doing from home, and it may even be something that you're thinking about collaborating on with somebody that is going to be very successful. It's going to transform everything for you, okay? And you don't really implement the action part of it until like the mid to the end of November, and then it changes everything. So this could be something to do with words. So some of you could be writing a book, some of you could be writing a screenplay, or you're giving a presentation, or you're going to go through some sort of appraisal. And I feel like your spoken word puts you in a position of power, okay? They're actually showing me right now a flag, okay? It's really interesting because the flag is clear. It doesn't have a color to it. That's such a random thing. It's almost like I can see an outline of a flag that's really clear. It's almost like water, but I can see that it's an outline of it and it's flying in the wind. So I feel like you're being clear with your intentions. I also get a sense of championing something, okay, reestablishing your power, and claiming victory. I just heard claiming victory over something in your career. You're making your mark in some way. You're distinguishing yourself, setting yourself apart from everybody else in some way in your career. Now, we do have an Ace of Cups. This indicates you're doing what you love, but an offer is coming towards you. And if you have not received this offer just yet, you're definitely going to have it come in very, very shortly, because you can see the ace is divinely guided. It's a gift from the universe, something that you are going to be feeling really satisfied with or fulfilled with. And we've got the Two of Cups here as well. So this is your protagonist energy. This is what you intend to do. You either intend to partner up with a company that you've always wanted to work for, or a position that you've always wanted to have, or an opportunity that you've been longing for, because the Two of Cups, when you apply it to a career, is about an agreement. It could be a contract, or it could be people coming together. It's your protagonist energy is what you intend to do. You intend to bond with this opportunity that's going to make you feel great. Okay, now it is a Two of Cups, so it can indicate second streams of income. Some of you may be setting up like a branch of a business that you already have established. So if you're a leader already, if you're an entrepreneur, you may be sort of branching out in a different direction. It's still somehow connected, but I feel like it's like an extension of your business that will go international, and it will bring in more finances. And for those of you who only have ideas of setting up your own business, I feel like you've got lots of bubbling up ideas, and there's going to be two prominent ones that will start to formulate and become a reality in the next 6 weeks. And you're going to be so happy that you did it, and you're going to be very proud of yourself that you have decided to do something that you love. Now this, for some of you, it could be something spiritual, okay? I'm picking up a real spiritual energy here, so it could be something connected to like mindfulness or the body, mind, and soul. It could be Reiki, yoga, could be even to do with the mind. Okay, I'm getting strong mind energy as well. So it could be that you think about being a counselor or a psychologist, or you're just fascinated with human mind behaviors, body, mind, and soul energy. That's coming through there as well. But when you get these three cards as your protagonist energy, it kind of indicates there is a new contract available that you will love. Now, this could be a collaboration, as I said, with either an establishment, business. So if there's always been a business or a brand that you always wanted to partner up with or work with, this is definitely, a good time to do that, because you're manifesting whatever it is that you're intending. Because you got the Lover's card here at the end of the month, which means everything comes together. I feel like you have a lot of options at the end of the month, and these options are going to be things that you love. So I definitely see that if you have a contract available to sign, please be mindful and read the small print, especially since you've got the Emperor energy, we've got the High Priestess there, and the Nine of Cups. There's something in this contract that you're not going to love, and you may want to like leave it behind, or you may want to restructure the contract in some way. because it may delay you from a path. So for example, it may be like you'll have a probation period for 6 to 9 months. And if a typical probation period is 3 to 6 months, you may be like, whoa, that's a long time, up to 9 months probation period. You may be a little bit frustrated and say, actually, no, I don't agree to those terms. Let's negotiate a better deal. And I feel like you will. I feel like you're hanging back on that as well. Now, some of you, my beautiful Scorpios, you'll see a restructure in your working environment, and a working environment that at one time was very peaceful and perhaps it was something that you loved. There could be a little bit of conflict. So you may see someone brought in to the company, someone who doesn't work there at the moment, someone who's brought in to do some things behind the scenes to restructure your working environment. So it could be that they are coming in to move management around, or it could be like a new HR kind of person who is there. I would be a little bit mindful about that, especially if they bring in like a meeting, if you're brought into a meeting to discuss how you feel about the company. Okay, this person may present as a friend and say, hey, Scorpio, you've been established at this place for quite some time. How do you feel about the way things are run? Now, I would say you're going to be honest. I see that you are absolutely honest to attack in your response. However, diplomacy is key, because I feel this person is there to like get the gossip or get the goods and feel out who is really disgruntled with the company. And that may lead to some, what's the word? Redundancies. Okay, and they may be getting rid of people who are really like backstabbing, or people who are just genuinely not representing the company in the right way. So forewarned is forearmed. I see someone coming in almost like, like that program, like The Hidden Boss, or is it The Undercover Boss or something like that? I feel there is a potential for that to occur. And if you work in an environment where there's like a mystery shopper or something like that, I definitely get a sense that November is the month where this person will come on in to test the workers. So there may be a frustrating client who comes in and, although they're there to do business, they actually may try to push your buttons in order to, put the pressure on so you reveal a negative side of yourself. So just watch out for that. I definitely see diplomacy is key. You're going to handle it with panache, flair, and class is what I see here. But equally, you're going to be honest. So diplomacy is the key. Now, I'm also getting an energy here that some of you, especially since we have an Emperor energy in the resistance position, some of you, your industries may be changed in some way by the government. There may be some new policies that come in, and they may change the way that the business operates, or the way that you have to like do extra paperwork. I mean, it could even be that like taxes are changed in some way, or the goalposts are moved in some way that may be a little bit frustrating, but I feel like you will adapt and change to these policies, and ultimately they will feel a little bit easier once you get to do them quite a lot. Change, lots of people, humans in general, we don't like change unless we are making the changes. And I feel if there's any changes that are being forced upon us in some way, at first they can feel really like isolating, or you can feel really frustrated with it. But ultimately, when you get in the flow of doing it, then it's like second nature again, and you get used to that way of doing something. So I just feel that something is changing in your career in some way, and it may involve like policies, rules, regulations, especially since we've got the Justice card there and the Emperor. The Emperor represents like establishments of power or authority in some way. And I definitely see that there is a restructure going on in your career sector in general. Doesn't mean that you are affected directly by those things, but it may mean more paperwork or more like red tape or bureaucracy, things like that. And I feel like ultimately you're on track to getting a wish in your career. I feel like you are reestablishing, oh, I just noticed, because of course you've got the death card there. There's a flag flying. The flag that I saw in there was, of course, clear in the water. I mean, you may even see like a random flag that's clear, completely clear. Maybe it means to be neutral in a situation or transparent in a situation that requires you to establish your power in some way. But I definitely get a sense here that you are on top. Now, that's not going to resonate with everyone, of course, but I have to mention it. Now, some of you, I get a sense, especially since we've got the Ace of Cups and we've got the Two of Cups. If you're looking for love, there is definitely the potential for you to strike up an office romance or to find a romantic interest in the industry that you currently work in. So it doesn't mean that you're going to strike up a romance with someone that you work with. It can indicate that someone in the same industry who works for a different company comes in and suddenly it's love at first sight. So there is a potential there if you are looking for love for that to happen. But ultimately, the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups in a career reading means an opportunity that you will love is coming in, where you have balance, reciprocity, where you make sure that all the effort that you put into something, you are fairly exchanged financially, okay? Also, it's about recognizing that you are a gift in your career. You're changing your mindset, you're backing yourself, and you are recognizing that you bring a lot to the table of your career and therefore you should benefit. So for example, if you're creative, you may have found it really difficult to price your work. You know, you love your work, however, it's hard to let go of it and you have to put a price on it. And oftentimes I'm getting energy that sometimes you undervalue your work, or you notice that people try to undervalue your work in some way. And I feel like you are actually reestablishing your power to say no. I put a lot of effort, time, love, care, and devotion into this, into whatever it is that you do. And therefore you should get, fairly recompense for it financially. But we've got the Emperor energy and it's in the resistance position. So it's like you got it in the reverse. Some of you may have been feeling a little bit like you're coasting. You may have felt that you're in a career where either you're not being recognized for your talents, you may feel that you're capable of elevating into promotional positions, and you may have felt that nobody is investing the time, care, or energy to offer you an opportunity where you can move up the ladder. But I definitely see that November is a month where you're noticed. Now, you tend to make your own luck. You tend to work really hard. You put everything you've got into your career. You're very focused and you follow your heart. I feel like, you're an all or nothing kind of energy, and that's going to work really well for you this month. I definitely see by the end of the month, there is some sort of position available to you where you can step in, more status, more power, and an opportunity to, of course, do some more work. However, I feel like you're going to be in charge of either a team or you're going to be leading a project in some way. And for some of you, there could even be like a bonus, okay? Because I definitely see something shocking you, surprising you, something that you felt was not available to you is becoming available. Okay, the Emperor energy really indicates that your plan, whilst it may have been delayed or stalled in some way, or you felt like you've been, taking some time out, withdrawing to work out the logistics before you implement any action, I definitely see November as a time where you will move towards your goal, take action on it, and it will be very, very successful as well, okay? Now, the Emperor energy in this position, it can also indicate that you've been dealing with people who are very immature or in some way try to derail you from your path. I'm definitely getting an energy here of someone who has a nasty ego that perhaps you've been dealing with silently, okay? I feel like you come to the fore in the month of November. I feel things come to a critical climax in some way, and I feel like you free yourself up from that person or that situation forever. Now, either they get moved into a different department or they leave, or you do. I definitely see you're moving away from that energy. Okay, this could be somebody who feels intimidated by your talents, your gifts. They definitely feel threatened by your energy. And again, I would say this person, safeguard your work, because this person could be someone who is trying to take credit for your ideas. But I feel like your knowledge, some of you feel that perhaps you have unfulfilled potential. You've got a lot of knowledge, and you may feel that you've been wasting time in a situation and you don't want to waste time anymore. So I feel like getting super organized this month. You're really focused on your career. It's almost like you're getting back on track and being a little bit more ruthless with your time. I feel like you've been doing things that you love, which is great, but actually I get this energy of you wanting to focus, or knowing that you need to focus now on your goal. And I feel like you're dominating your career. You definitely have the traits of a leader. And I definitely see that you are opening yourself up to moving towards an established position of power. Now, of course, I mentioned earlier about the time period that we're living in, especially since we've got that influence from the Sun-Mars conjunction with the Emperor in the resistance position. It can indicate, people in establishments, positions of power, government, things like that. And we have a Tower moment. It can indicate that there may be a breakdown in some way of finances or financial institutions. And the Emperor energy indicates that you are protecting the finances that you've already worked hard for. So you may be looking at where you house your finances. If you have a certain amount of money or above, you may make sure that those establishments are not linked by license, so that you are protected in terms of insurance should there ever be a crash, things like that. You get the gist, okay? But I feel intuitively you're already aware of that, and I feel like you're paying attention. I get this energy that you are super paying attention. I feel like you've always been paying attention, but I just get this energy that you're really paying attention to the time period that we're living in and noticing that things are changing behind the scenes. And I feel like you're preparing yourself. So some of you may be taking up second streams of income, or you may be putting yourself in a position to do something online, as we have the Ace of Swords there, which is, swords are all about the air, the ether, things that we can put online. So some of you may be setting up those second streams of income, even if it is selling things that you've outgrown. You may be starting up a business like that, or implementing a new idea that puts you in a really good position to earn extra money. Now, we do have the High Priestess. It's in the resistance position, and that's where I get this energy of mistrust of established people in power, okay, or governments, things like that. So I feel like you have a healthy mistrust of people who are power hungry, okay? I feel like you are the sort of person who elevates and sees the bigger picture on those situations. So you may notice that your career sector is restructuring, and I feel like you get ahead of it by putting yourself in a position of knowledge and being ready for any changes, because I feel like it's like a chess game. You're always ready for everything. Now, with the High Priestess, I get a sense that you are working on something in secret, okay? And some of you may even have lost out on an opportunity, but that's only because that opportunity was not meant for you. There's something better coming for you. I actually see 2 opportunities coming in, potentially 3, but I feel one of them's really not something that you will want to entertain. I feel like there's going to be 2 that you'll have to choose from. Both are equally good, and I will pull a card on them financially to see what's coming in. But if you're thinking about changing your job, or you're thinking about moving into a new position, I feel like you have some big choices to make at the end of the month, and it may make you feel a little bit anxious. Okay, don't overthink this. I definitely get a sense here that you're avoiding conflict. Wait before you make any major changes. Really think them through. And once you make those changes, I definitely get a sense here that you are going to reach success. Now, we do have the 9 of Cups, which is in the resistance position. Some of you are feeling really exhausted. When it's in the resistance position, as I said, it's like it's in the reverse. Some of you are feeling really exhausted. You've been working really hard towards something, and it just feels like it's a never-ending cycle, okay? I'm being given a song with this card. Interesting. I feel like this artist has come up before because their energy seems familiar to me. I'll give you the lyrics of what I'm being given first, because it's going muffled and then it's coming in and out. So I'm only being given certain lyrics, not all of them. I feel almost like I'm not being given a full sentence, but I'll give you what I'm being given. Nothing else can lead me off track. Like a wildfire, got me rising high. Okay, I mean, that pretty much is self-explanatory there. You're not letting anything derail you or take away your focus from your goals. You're going to spread. You're having that fire in your belly, and I feel like you are rising and elevating quite quickly. I mean, okay, they're telling me it's deeper than that. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Okay. So I'm being given that the song is actually called Wildfire. Now, normally I'm not given that information, so I'm really grateful to be privy to that. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Normally I have to like look it up online. And the artist is SBTRKT. Now, I feel that person, their song has come up in a reading before in the past, but I can't remember which reading for. But they're giving me, there's more to that. They're giving me that this person's name is important. Okay. A disavowalment word. Wow. The word is subtract. Okay. This is like a whole equation in itself. Subtract. Okay. I can see how that would work. Yeah. Okay. So they're giving me that actually this artist's name is subtract. However, they have removed the vowels from the word to create SBT. You get the gist, okay? Okay, so they're giving me a vowel, of course, is a sound produced by the vocal cords, but it's the tone that is required. So everything that's said, that we must pay attention to the tone. A vowel cannot act alone. It needs the friction of the syllables and the consonants to form the word. So maybe you are like avoiding or removing friction in your working environment, or you're finding an easier way to work, or perhaps you're using your voice. Your work will be impacted by your words in some way, whether it's like writing a book, writing a film, doing a podcast, giving a presentation, something like that. I'm not really sure how else to decode this, This is, I'm getting just goal-focused, no distractions, forging ahead, removing the unnecessary from your career so it doesn't like weigh you down or slow you down. I'm going to have to move away from that because I'm not really sure how else to decode it. That's really complex for this reading. But subtract. Let me just pull a quick card. Subtract. You're taking away something in order to replace it with something better. Okay, you've got two aces here. So that's telling me that there are two opportunities that are better, that are coming in your way. Something that you will love, something that will engage your mind. You're going to be more focused. You're going to have more clarity. Four of Swords, it may be something that you're doing by yourself, something that you're thinking about right now, something that you're planning. They're giving me the word planning. It's like all the equations of this plan that you have, it's all coming together. All the variables are coming together to create something very successful. Five of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. You're changing things that are difficult. Okay, big major changes happening in your career. Things are going to get a bit faster paced for you. So some of you are literally changing your finances for the better because the Five of Pentacles indicates a longing, a struggle with something that is causing a bit of a hardship right now. Some of you may feel like you lack something that you've been trying to manifest. And the Knight of Swords indicates major changes happening quite quickly, that you're making some adjustments, but also you're responding differently to challenging situations. You're adapting to a new way of thinking and behaving. So someone may say something a bit off key to you in this next coming weeks. And rather than like holding a grudge or rather than, being very acerbic and sort of biting back, I definitely get a sense that your success is your revenge. It's almost like you take a step back and be like, watch me thrive, watch me be very successful, and you just leave them in the dust. Six of Wands, victory, the Hierophant. You impress people in positions of power. So whoever this person is who perhaps is maybe trying to push your buttons, I feel like they lose out because the way you handle a situation puts you in favor with the hierarchy, with the establishment. So if you work in a company, I feel like you're being watched. People are watching your reactions. And if you are in an industry where you're an entrepreneur and you work by yourself, I get a sense the way you handle the pressure of work or the way you handle difficult situations or negative feedback, I definitely get a sense it puts you apart from everybody else. There's definitely a contract coming on in here for you. And the Six of Wands is a card of elevation, success, victory, and for some of you, fame. If you want to be in, the public eye in some way, I feel like your finances will change. It'll be very fast paced and you may feel a little bit like it's a whirlwind at first. However, you will ground yourself and your plans are taking root in reality. So some really great news to celebrate. However, I do feel like you will have a choice. There's opportunity. There's two opportunities you're going to have to choose from. Okay. Now that song that came in, I'm not really sure how else it's relevant. You may hear that song on the radio or on a reel or something, and it indicates better times in your career, something that you will celebrate. And the Nine of Cups, of course, all these cards that are in the resistance position, by the end of the 6 weeks, they go into the upright, which means a wish being delivered. It means intuitively you knew this was going to happen. Although you may be feeling a little bit in between worlds right now, I feel like you are developing your intuition. You're using that intuition for your business leadership skills, and you're reestablishing your power, and your plans are working. So if you want to have some sort of promotion or raise, it's definitely available to you, and it will change how you work at the end of the month. It may surprise you, but I definitely see it's a good surprise, okay? Now, your outcome energy, we have the Tower. Some of you have been feeling really stuck, like you've been going round and round circles, like it's just the same old thing, a different day, and you're in a bit of a work-life habit. And I feel you're trying to restructure your career or your routine in some way to make more time for freedom, to enjoy yourself. So I definitely see that you're liberating yourself, coming out of a comfort zone in some way. But there may be something that shocks you in your working environment. But I feel there's like a major epiphany or a major moment of clarity, but I feel it works in your favor, whatever it is. So let me just pull a quick card on that Tower energy, because the Tower energy, it's almost like a paradigm shift. You have to let go of something, a comfort zone normally, in order to receive something better, something greater. And I feel like your working environment, your career, is about to take you out of your comfort zone. And whilst it will feel exhilarating and exciting, it can also feel a little bit like uncharted territory. It can feel a little bit terrifying as well. Okay, Ace of Wands. I mean, that's 3 aces in your reading. This is a major big deal, major transformation. Suddenly a desire to implement an idea. You're going to get very creative. This is a major, vision of yours becoming a reality. The universe is stepping in to help you on your path, because I feel like you are on the right path. And the Ace of Wands is really about action. It's about imagining something new, being daring, being bold, making things happen, being inspired to turn those dreams into reality. And, I feel like you have the power and the energy and the drive, that spark of brilliance to stand out from the crowd. So that's 3 aces. I mean, this is a big time for you where the universe is on your side to make some major restructures, but some major new beginnings. So either that's the way that you work, or whether it's you entering a new arena at work, I definitely see that you're on the right track for success. I mean, the swords are of the mind. Having a clear mind, being eloquent to voice how you feel about your work, but also to put your ideas into practice, to achieve something, to take accountability for your actions, be honest with yourself and say, you know what, perhaps I haven't been focused enough. Now it's time to get focused. Or perhaps you've been too focused and you need to remove yourself to see the bigger picture, because sometimes when we're really in the midst of it, we find it hard to get clarity because we're so involved. Sometimes it's really good to take a step back, especially if we're trying to find a solution for any problems in our career. The Ace of Wands is to have the energy, the drive, and enterprising spirit where an idea can start to bud and your vision becomes a reality, bringing you on a new adventure. And of course, the Ace of Cups is to love what you do, pouring all that emotion into what you do. And the universe are offering you, as I said, I saw 3 opportunities, okay? And the 3 aces there. So you're definitely getting an opportunity that you're going to thrive at. Now we have the Hanged Man and the 5 of Swords. Okay, so the Hangman is to get a new perspective. So I feel for some of you, the majority of you actually, will see a person in a new light. Someone who's been trying to push your buttons, someone who actually sees you as competition and has been very unfair. Okay, and I'm going to pull a card on this because I feel this person tries to win at all costs. So there could be some like negative comments that come out about either the way that you work or the way that things should be done. This person, they are not happy with themselves. They feel challenged. They see that you are really good at what you do. So they feel intimidated by your energy. I feel you being the way you are, you'll diplomatically deal with the situation in honesty, but you'll move on. 5 of Cups in the world. Okay, so you'll see this person in a new light. I feel for some of you, you're going to leave this person or the situation behind and you're moving into better times. Okay, now some of you, if you've been dealing with a place where there's a lot of, office politics, or people are backstabbing each other, or people are just not supporting each other, I definitely get an energy that whilst you may have loved this position at one time, you may be looking for a new opportunity. The world indicates a new era. It means being in the right place at the right time to meet this new opportunity. The Two of Cups is there. As I said, you're manifesting something right now, but it may require you to leave either the way that you work or a position behind in order to get something new. So this Tower is actually working for you, especially with the Hangman energy. It's like sometimes our world gets turned upside down and it feels a little bit challenging, but then suddenly we realize it's because the universe was trying to get us on a track towards more success. So, the World card is to be very goal-oriented, and I feel that some of you may have been working on something that perhaps takes up a lot of your time. You are feeling drained in your energy, and you may be feeling like it's not as rewarding as you'd hoped it was, but I feel there's like an extension of your career, maybe even a branch that you're going to create that is going to make you feel really fulfilled, give you a spring in your step. So for example, if you're an entrepreneur and you've been doing something and you've been doing it over and over and over and over again, and you're getting really good at it, however, it's starting to become less satisfying. You feel a little bit on autopilot. You're just doing it because you know you're good at it. You do feel accomplished in it. However, you want to be a little bit more excited. You want to do something different. So some of you may be thinking of new ways to shake up what you do, whether it's to explore a different direction or whether it is to enhance what you've already got going on. I definitely get a sense here there's change. Now, I want to pull a card on this Five of Swords because it is an outcome energy. Now, this is a card of tension and conflict, okay? But it's also to make you aware of your authentic self. Sometimes tension and conflict can be good because it can be a shaper of your direction of energy. So you're the sort of person, my beautiful Scorpio, when there's pressure on, whilst you don't like pressure, it can actually help you channel that energy into being really productive. So I feel the heat is on in your career in some way, and I feel like you're not sitting back and wasting time. Page of Wands, you're getting moving, you have a new idea, you're being bold, being daring, and I feel the page indicates some sort of news that makes you feel really excited, okay? This could be a new project, new idea, it could be you just taking action. Ultimately, the Page of Wands is a really great card for testing the water, exploring your options. Some of you could even be studying for something new here, but you're cultivating good financial habits. Okay, and I really get a sense here that you're eager to, I just keep getting the word expand. Temperance card. Balance. You're shaking things up. You're making two things become one, or one thing merge into another. I definitely get a sense here that you are focused on your true life's mission, and I feel like you're re-examining your priorities. You're being patient. You're working towards something. So I definitely see that you're blending your skill set to make something become a reality. And for some of you, you may even be wondering, how can I bring my career on the road? How can I bring more travel into my life? And I definitely see that if you've been feeling stuck, suddenly things get moving in the right direction for you. Now we also have the Hermit energy, which is about knowledge. Some of you are feeling a little bit fed up. You have been putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into your career. You're very passionate about what you do, but you may be feeling exhausted, that perhaps you're not as far on your path as you hoped you would be. That's all going to change for you. The Hermit indicates some of you are coming out of a very dark tunnel. You're seeing the light. You're reaching for something unique and special because you have the courage to go after it. You will achieve it. You've got the Star energy. That Hermit is reaching for the star. You've got the star, so you will get the object of your desire. This is about being noticed for what you do, recognizing that you are really good at what you do as well, because you are recognizing that you are a gift, because sometimes we accept less than we truly deserve. And I feel like you're not doing that anymore. I feel like you're making sure that no one underestimates you or undervalues your talent. Now, the Hermit energy can indicate some of you are withdrawing to work on this idea. You may spend some time alone, but you definitely need to recharge your batteries because I feel like you've been on the go. You've been really busy. The Star energy also indicates, yes, you are going to be focused on your goals. You're going to be very organized, and I feel like you're implementing a healthier way of living. I feel like you're embracing those new ideas, and I feel that you are going to be recognized for your talents. Some of you will step into the spotlight in terms of fame. So if that's what you're hoping for, there may be a couple of contracts available, but you may have to choose between a couple of them. One of them in particular is very lucrative. It will actually, give you a reputation or make a name for yourself. Even if you don't want to be famous, I feel like you will be noticed for what you do. And the Star energy indicates a wish being delivered in your career. You're actually aligning yourself with, a goal or an outcome. Now, we do have the Death card. Something big is ending, but I also get a sense here something wonderfully new is beginning. I also see you being very critical about yourself and breaking old habits. I feel like you don't want to procrastinate. I definitely get a sense here that if you've been feeling stuck, you're finding a way to liberate yourself from this situation. I keep coming back to this energy of you're subtracting anything that's holding you back, okay? And anything that has the potential to lead you off track, I feel like you're not allowing it to. Also, as you see there, the Death card, the Death symbol, rather, is actually standing up to the Hierophant, okay? So some of you may stand up to an established figure in either the government or in your working environment or, an important person in the industry. I feel like you will, underline your position and stand up for what you believe in. And I feel that, you come out on top. It's almost like you are going to be admired for having the strength to say no to somebody who perhaps has a track record of having a lot of yes people around them. So, for example, if your boss says, okay, I've got an idea for this. Can you have a look at it and tell me what you think? And you read it and you think, oh, this isn't very good, actually. I feel like rather than saying this isn't very good, you may approach this person and say, you know what, I read it. It was really interesting. Your ideas are awesome. However, you may want to tweak it in these certain areas because that would really make me sit up and pay attention. And then your boss may be like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't what I thought you'd say. However, they may go away and brood on it, but you've given like some really positive feedback and they go away and tweak things in that area that you mentioned, and then they get like some sort of accolade for their work, and they think, you know what, I really appreciate that Scorpio was honest, actually, because everyone else went, yeah, it was amazing, because they want a promotion. You're not going to do that. You tell it how it is, and I feel like diplomatically you find a way to tell it how it is, and ultimately you come out on top, because that person will then think of you as being someone they can trust by their side, and they want to elevate you. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but it keeps coming up in your reading. Okay, so even if you're an entrepreneur and someone reaches out to you that you've never worked with before and they have an idea and they run it past you, I feel it's really important to hold your integrity high and say, look, I'm going to tell it to you straight. However, I feel like you really got something going on here. You're not about destroying people's ideas. You're about building people up, but you're also about being honest and saying, you know what? This is how it is. So whatever you're manifesting with that Two of Cups here, the Lover's card indicates that you are attracting what you desire, okay? Because this is two law of attraction cards. So when you apply these cards to a career reading, it means you're attracting what your heart desires. And you're starting off in the heart space. What do I love about my career? What is it I want to achieve? What kind of lifestyle would I love to live in? And can my career currently help me achieve that? And if the answers are no, then I feel like you're definitely making some major adjustments to make it happen for you so that you can walk away from anything that is really not going to get you to where you want to be. The Lover's card is really about examining your motives and values and contemplating which path to take, because I feel some of you have been feeling stuck for some time and you just want to bring a little bit more excitement into your career. and you're trying to shake things up a little bit. And that's why you're implementing new ideas. You're going to be very clear of mind. So if some of you have been feeling a little bit scattered or that you've been wasting time recently, I definitely get a sense that you're back on track and that you are going to hit the ground running for November and beyond. The Ace of Swords really is about a major breakthrough, but it's more than that. It's actually about suddenly knowing what you can do to change your reality, and you feel compelled to act on it. So suddenly you may feel a little bit obsessive at the end of the month about an idea, and you may squirrel yourself away to really work on it. I also see that some of you are going to get some sort of news that elevates you in your career, and it's a complete shock. Complete surprise, especially from someone who is very quiet in the office. Okay, I feel someone who diligently watches everybody working. They've actually got a lot of power and say. And I feel like they have tapped you for some sort of promotion or some sort of good opportunity at your working environment. You're going to be really shocked at this. When it comes in, I feel like it's almost like you get the news and then you have to wait a couple of weeks or months before it's fully realized or fully implemented. And you may worry about whether you've got the stamina to make it happen, but you absolutely have. Don't worry, you got this. So let me just pull some final cards before I close your reading. Thanks so much for it, guys. Great angels, can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? King of Cups. Okay, now the King of Cups is a leader, someone who is diplomatic, someone who is very fair, and I feel like you're getting what you truly deserve in your career. I also see that you're elevating. This is a very high position. This is king energy. Okay, I feel like there's some sort of stepping stone happening in your career where you're being elevated, and some of you may be setting up an entrepreneurship where you do something that you love and you're in command of it. But I feel there could be two streams of income here. So just watch that you don't completely burn yourself out. King of Cups energy is really about, it's a lot of effort, what you do, okay? But I feel like you have control over it, and I feel like you're unstoppable in your energy. And I also feel like you're really not in it for the money. I feel like you're in it for the love. But money is the byproduct of what you are doing to establish a really secure future. Okay, now it's interesting that we have the Lovers card there at the end, and we've got two kings, King of Wands, King of Cups there as well. And as I said, you have to choose between two positions perhaps, or two opportunities. But I feel, oh my gosh, the Lovers card, some of you may even be collaborating. I just wanted to confirm it. Some of you may even be collaborating or setting up a business partnership with people that you trust. Male or female, not a gender-specific reading. It's about the energy. But I feel you and this person, you have very opposing energies, okay? But I feel equally you will both work really hard to make the business become very successful, okay? Some of you, it may be your partner or maybe a sibling or a member of family or a friend. Definitely get a contract in place no matter what partnership you decide to strike up, because I definitely see that it's just good business, okay? Six of Swords, you've been tested, but I feel like you're being guided towards bringing a little bit more adventure or a little bit more spontaneity into your career, but also you're being guided to establish your power and become someone who is a force to be reckoned with in your career, okay? Two leadership positions being offered here. The Lovers card, it's the choice card. So you have the choice, the pick of the bunch. That's what I'm feeling here as well, okay? Now, I do want to find out a little bit about money. Can you tell me about money? Anything about money here? The Sun card. Now, the Sun card is all about abundance. It's about being open to prosperity, but it's also about success, positivity, joy, and financial gain. So I definitely see there's a lot of abundance being magnetized towards you. I'm going to get some final cards before I close out your reading. Ultimately, you're doing something that you love. You're making adjustments, and there's a major restructure happening in your career, but I feel like you stand out. There may be some bumps in the road, but I feel like you've got this. And some of you may walk away from something that just has not been working for you for some time. And you're walking straight into something new, something more fulfilling, something more rewarding and supportive. Now, I also want you to be aware there is a rogue card in this deck. It's meant to be there. It's a very special card. Not everybody gets it, okay? And so some people have been saying when I use this deck, oh my gosh, there's a rogue card, but it's actually meant to be there, okay? Now, we have Spiral, And it says here, out of control, climbing the ladder, upward trend. This is positive, okay? Revisiting a job, promotion, or connections. Now, I didn't see any of you revisiting a job, okay? What I see here is that you want to save stuff down. Otherwise, you may have to lose it. There may be a glitch where something gets deleted and maybe then you'll have to revisit it. That could be very frustrating. But I actually see an upward trend for you. I actually see a lot of positive energy. We do have mask, okay? So as I said, you may see someone in a new light. That definitely came out in this reading as well. But it's secret stash, saving the pennies, finding money. Now, it does say here theft. I don't see any theft cards for you, but of course, it's always good to keep your wits about you. But I did feel that there is a theft of ideas, so protect your ideas. We've also got acting, assistant, hidden potential, unknown. So that's definitely come through as well, where some of you feel like you haven't reached your full potential yet. You may have felt that some of you have been wasting your time in a position that you should be further along. But I definitely get a sense here that you're being lined up for something better in the right time. And finally, we have nugget. So an increase, small increase in money, valuable information coming in, honest assessment, that all came up there, fresh start, studying for work, steady work, and career building. So I definitely see that you are on the up. I feel like you're gathering very interesting information. And I feel that this month really is about that honest assessment and putting your ideas into practice that will be very successful long term. I'm just going to go and get some rune or trinket before we close. Oh, only 2 rune. That's interesting. We have money, money, money. We have the cattle rune there, which is wealth, fulfillment, power, material gain. Okay, and avoiding disappointments. This is a rune of anything that you feel like you've lost out on. So even if you're currently out of work and you are looking for work, there are 3 opportunities coming along. 2 of them are, the ones you're going to choose between, because I feel like they are really relevant and interesting. And the other one, I feel it's a nice opportunity, but it's something that you'll go, you know what, that's not for me. But I feel like there's more money being attracted into your world. Okay, and we got the sun rune as well. So success, victory, clear vision, achievement, being honored in some way for what you do. And you're going to be really proud of yourself. Okay. So I'll leave it there. I hope it resonates in some way. That was quite a complex reading. I do apologize. It's a little bit longer than everybody else's. However, Scorpio, we all know that we are a little bit complex sometimes, especially when it comes to our goals and our focus. So I'll leave it there. If it does resonate in some way, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. And also, before I go, they're really indicating 2 things. One is listen out for that song. They called it Wildfire. That was it. Yeah. And also 0101. This is a number that may be relevant. It could be the end of a cell phone of someone important, maybe a networking contact, or maybe even a colleague, or it could be the number of a meeting room or a building, or, it could even be like a time where you receive a very important message. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, and love and light.